lot more fun in that conversation. All right, Patrick Mahomes, the Kansas City Chiefs, taking on Trevor Lawrence and the Jacksonville Jaguars. To Travis Hunter, what a catch.
Ridiculous job by Travis Hunter of just tracking the football. That's like that athleticism, that ball skill, the instincts that we often talk about with athletes. That's a very special, very difficult catch.
And how about Lawrence here? It felt like Spags didn't have a great plan for the running ability of Trevor Lawrence in this game.
Yeah, really good job. A couple times he saw seams and did not hesitate, put his back foot
in the NFL. Wow. He got a little tired there at the end. I don't blame him.
It's 100 yards a long time.
All right, fourth quarter, same score. Jags have the ball again. Lawrence, this time he throws an interception to McDuffie.
Yeah, this is a huge point of the game. You know, start of the fourth quarter and you're up by a touchdown. This should have been pass interference. Fortunately for the Jags, it doesn't hurt them because the Chiefs immediately turn it into a tie football game.
So it's tied, 21-12, and that's a gain of 20 yards. Spectacular catch.
Yeah, we saw a couple plus plays by Patrick Mahomes last night, and Hollywood Brown had a couple moments on the sidelines that were good, and then Kareem Hunt punches it in, they take the lead.
Play mattered big time.
One of the best throws of Trevor Lawrence's career.
Agree.
So impressive and such a big moment.
And then Trevor Lawrence right there. Ooh, it seems like an interception to Brian Cook. The entire stadium lost its breath, but ends up being called for pass interference. And then this is the craziest play you're going to see in quite some time. Lawrence gets stepped on. He falls down. He gets back up again. It didn't matter. He after the game.
Oh, just panic, sheer panic on the ground, we didn't have any timeouts, got stepped on coming out, and I was like, I got to get up, and I was just going to throw it out of bounds to stop the clock, and then there was really no one around me, so went and made a play.
What we do is truly the most important thing in the world, but guess what, man? Guess what? Guess what? So proud of the way you compete, and I'm so proud of you, coach. So proud of you, coach. Great job. Trevor Lawrence, get us a break.
Yeah, he turned 26. Trevor said he had a lot of cake waiting for him at home. Super young. It's a good reminder, right? It feels like he's been in the league for a long time, and he has in some ways. But 4-1, the Jaguars off to their best start since 2007. They've been doing their work in the trenches. Jacksonville ranks 3rd in pass blocking, 2nd in run blocking this season, and their +8 turnover differential leads the NFL. Last season, the Jags were -15 in turnover differential, 4th worst in the league. It was interesting, too. They did not have their starting center for a large majority of the game. Robert Hainsey went down, and
put the quarterback under center, run the football, have a little play action, a little balance to your offense, goes a long way.
What did you see from Trevor Lawrence specifically last night?
Honest question, when was the last time the Jaguars won a football game because of Trevor Lawrence? Because of his performance.
2023?
Wild. Last night was the first time in a long time I feel like he played with edge, he played with attitude, he played with confidence and moxie. I go back to that interaction with him and Liam Cohen on the sideline in the Bengals game and what was it and whatnot. And for feels years now, we've been begging Trevor Lawrence, don't be so robotic. Like, you're a freak athlete. Take off with your legs and be impactful to the game. That's the story of the game. I think it's the story of the moment last night heading for the rest of the season. That this was the first time he played with attitude and edge, and you saw it with his decision making and him taking off with his legs. And then that leads to that final drive. Nina says it. This is the throw of his career. I agree. Ball's on the left hash. You're giving Brian Thomas Jr. all the space now. He sees that safety rotate, the yellow safety. Once he turns his back, that ball's going to BTJ. Now watch him slow play it at the line. You're just trying to slow play burst. And the burst matters because it gives him an opportunity to save space to the sideline for that throw. Best throw of Trevor Lawrence's career, biggest moment. Now this one's interesting because it's a big completion to get him closer. Travis Hunter goes in motion. No one runs with him. So naturally as a quarterback, you think you're in zone, or they're in zone as a defense. Catches the snap and he sees the safety rotate to the middle field. Okay, it's one high. Then he works to his left and in one hitch realizes it's man. Brian Thomas Jr. is getting pinned low. You've got leverage to De'Ami Brown on the outside, and it's another perfect throw. Like that's the thing that was so impressive last night was I saw this guy stare across the sideline to the best player in the world and be like, I can play with you.
Yeah.
And finally do it. And then the throws to win it were It's why he went number 1. But we haven't seen that version of Trevor Lawrence.
I'm glad you included the Brown throw. The Thomas Jr. throw has correctly gotten a lot of attention, but that throw was really impressive. Like, that was really good coverage on him.
Quick too.
And it took me back to, you asked when was the last time they were winning games because of Trevor Lawrence. I think back to the season when they went to the playoffs where he was really playing out of his mind. And that throw, the out, was probably the best tool in his arsenal that season. He was 9 for 9 on outbreakers. It's something that Brian Thomas Jr. is excellent at. And it was crucial because going into this game, I thought they're going to run the ball well. The Chiefs sold out to stop the run on a lot of occasions and said, Trevor, beat us, throwing outside the numbers, and he did. Yeah. I think that's really encouraging. I'd like to see more downfield targets to Travis Hunter because we saw him rewarded for it.
The ball skills.
The ball skills are unbelievable. Even if the route running's not there, I don't care.
His willingness to be a runner.
They said he's their best blocking wide receiver, too. I mean,
Travis
does
yes.
so much.
Yes.
He also, too, like watching him on the sideline, he never sits down. Crazy. Obviously, he's involved in both sides, but even when he could get a break, I don't know. I'm watching him thinking, I'm tired just watching you. Also, one more point before we go to Marcus. You mentioned the interaction between Liam Cohen and Trevor earlier this season. Yeah. Watching them last night, anytime Trevor had bad plays, because he had some unfortunate moments in this game, some penalties he was responsible for, Liam would go over and tell him, just forget it. Yeah. That didn't happen.
But not baby him in a way.
No.
Like, hey, dude,
like, move on.
Go, yeah.
Exactly, and you could see that confidence being instilled in him. All right, Marcus, the Devin Lloyd pick 6 was a turning point. How did that happen?
I loved it. It was a simulated pressure. Everybody hugged up into the line of scrimmage. And if you look pre to that, Devin Lloyd was kind of hanging. You didn't know. And he fooled Pat for real because early in the down when they were lining up as a defense, he wasn't into the line of scrimmage. And it's almost like he baited him. And these things don't usually happen to Patrick Mahomes, but it looked so good and they thought they were going to be able to get this quick slant underneath to Juju, but it was just a phenomenal play by the linebacker. He baited Pat Mahomes, which is rare, especially in those type of situations. But ultimately, this dude has been playing out of his mind. There's 2 interceptions last week, understanding where he needed to drop in that hook zone, understanding to get his hands up and try to just be in the way of whatever that quick game was going to be, and it turned into a 99-yard interception. I love the fact that they played games with the Kansas City Chiefs from a defensive standpoint. That is what I always mean when I talk about defenses dictating what offenses do. That is a great example of it. They knew their plan. Devin Lloyd knew where he should have ended up pre-snap, and he got there fast enough to take it to the crib.
Yeah, earlier I said Devin Lloyd might be the most improved player in football, which isn't to say, he was so bad before, but I think with him we're seeing something that we often see in the NFL, which is the linebacker position is really hard. It takes a while to learn, to master. He's had different coaches, but to Marcus's point, you don't get interceptions, the number he leads the league right now, through luck. There's such an awareness when you watch him in coverage of where the quarterback wants to go with the football. That comes through experience, and it's a reminder to these teams. Sometimes you got to be patient with the linebacker position in particular.
Yeah, I think there are some, I want to say new additions, but maybe some guys that have grown. Like Jordan Lewis made a big stop on 3rd down. That was huge. That long drive that Kansas City, I think they were converted. They were like 2nd and 34 at some point on that drive.
Like 6 minutes of the clock.
Long drive. And the great thing with Devin Lloyd is, and this is why coaching matters so much. We're talking about Trevor Lawrence and Liam Cohen. You can see, like, Devin Lloyd steps into the line of scrimmage. He sees that the center, Creed Humphrey's going to block him, so he backs out. Right when he takes a step out, you can see his head snap to Juju. Right when he sees